Welcome back to my interdisciplinary art studio. After a year of creating mixed media oil paintings and fiber artwork, it is time to install my work in the gallery. We'll be packing up and heading to the gallery at Wren in Bethlehem, New Hampshire. I'll share the install process, working with 2 other artists and the curating team, a full gallery tour, and a bit of the joy of the opening reception. Let's do it! I began by putting all of the works into my car and gathering all of my install materials, including a list of every single work, their price, and all the listings that the gallery needs. Since it was such perfect lighting, I decided to get a few final shots and do a little reveal of Threshold to Fantasy. To make sure that the pieces all arrive safely, I wrap all of the fully cured oil paintings in a quilted blanket. I have some that are thrifted and older ones that I don't mind using for this purpose. I find that they are well cushioned in this way, and then everything else is stacked, and I will support the other pieces with some of my other fiber work.
That's magical.
Making even just a little space to soak up this moment of this big show happening, I took my time on the drive and enjoyed the beautiful scenery. For this show, I was lucky enough to get to work with a curating team at the gallery at Wren alongside the other 2 artists that I was in the show with, Anthony Surratt and Lee Williams. So we made a huge effort to make sure that not only were our works flowing together and having a cohesive feel throughout the space, but also that we each individually had our own collections that could shine in a way that stayed true to what we were going for in our own studio practices. So I ended up getting this really cute, cozy little alcove, which I thought was perfect. I really wanted to create an invitation for intimacy with my works. By being in this section of the gallery, I was really able to highlight the intimacy of the smaller pieces and also create larger scale pieces that would envelop the viewer. Here is me using my little lint roller, which I actually did remember to bring, to take off all the little fluffies from my fiber studio, other projects from this large quilt. Hanging things together and creating a flow within my own space and how it transitioned into Lee and Anthony's work was also really important. So paying attention especially to the pieces that were on the edges, meaning what was directly next to one of their pieces and transitioning into my body of work. We were really mindful about the colors, the textures, the materiality of it to connect those shapes together. We had a whole time figuring out how to install this that I had prepared for, but Douglas, who has been in the curating team for a long time, he had a really awesome idea. Just being open and excited to discuss what works best for the space and honoring that they know this space really well, respecting the other artists and their opinions and what they really wanted to have the space feel like was really important. I also had the pleasure of checking out the gallery at Wren's store, which has incredible handmade pieces from throughout the community, mostly New Englanders, I believe. And yeah, I just had a grand old time. Headed home and just thought about how great the show was going to be. Then came the morning of the show. Made myself a nice little latte, sat outside, did some reflecting and journaling on what I was hopeful for and just setting my expectations to just be open, and headed up to New Hampshire.
You look so cute.
And headed to the opening. There's a big sign! Oh my god! I love it. You guys did amazing. Thank you so much. All right, here's the gallery tour of Mixing It Up, a celebration of mixed media featuring 3 New England artists, Anthony Surratt, Lee Williams, and myself, Deanna. Featuring handmade earth pigment oil paintings with fibers and natural materials, Deanna creates atmospheric, layered landscapes rooted in the natural world. Anthony Surratt explores abstraction through paper, ephemera, and assemblage, building richly textured compositions. In contrast, Lee Williams construct colorful, whimsical sculptures using wood, steel, concrete, rope, and an array of found materials. Mixing It Up brings together mixed media works by these New England artists whose practices, while materially distinct, are compellingly contemporary. Spanning a wide range of subjects and techniques, the exhibition reveals a shared commitment to process, material exploration, and layered storytelling. Themes of loss and discovery, decay and rebirth, accumulation and sustainability emerge through their diverse approaches, creating a dynamic dialogue across forms. Here is my personal artist statement for my collection of work. Limitations of the body have made investigating a singular place necessary for Hakome, but from these constraints exists an untapped power. Cottage chrysalis reflects a strength cultivated from a deep connection to nature's particularities, awakened when tapped into the gentle power of the flora and fauna and the rituals surrounding seasonal changes. Investigating Hakume's homes, interior, and surrounding land, this series intertwines an interconnectedness to the everyday magic within our bodies, our homes, and the land they exist within. Honoring the Earth's resources, this collection utilizes hand-ground earth pigments, natural dyes, and sustainably sourced materials to create interdisciplinary mixed media paintings and fiber works which entwine materials, the hand, the body, and the landscape. All works have been created since February of 2025. If you would like an extended version of this gallery tour, you can head to my Patreon. I shared a video going through more of the details into these works. I realized that it all started with this piece, Permanent Residency, where I became a permanent resident of a home where I could build a life with my husband. We built this tiny house on wheels that we lived in for nearly 2 years off-grid, and it made it so now we have our own home, and everything in this collection of work is all about being present and falling so deep in love with a landscape, with every flower, with every tree, and just soaking up that present moment and sinking into it as deeply as possible. My sincerest recommendation, if you yourself are having a gallery showcase, is to arrive in an ideal world before they start to bring in the food, which I did not. The reason being, then you can get some really clean shots. You really want to get a photo of the piece really well lit, especially if it's a sculpture, getting multiple angles. And for me, with my paintings, I have painted the sides, and the frames are important, so I try to get those shots, get overall install shots of the whole space, from the entryway, different views that somebody's gonna experience. Give the impression, if you see the photos, like, yeah, this is what it was like to actually be there, as best as you can. So getting a single shot of each piece, as well as detail shots and overall gallery layout shots. We went back after the opening and I got a ton more shots to make sure that I had everything I needed. Whereas if you try to take them while you're at the show, there's going to be a bunch of people. You're going to want to be talking to people, and it's so fun to just be able to enjoy the night. Please enjoy the opening reception of Mixing It Up at the Gallery at Wren. Lo and behold, my dad, who lives in Florida, actually ended up flying and showing up, and I burst into tears when I saw him. It meant the absolute world to me. And some of our best friends, who are also local artists in Vermont, showed up, and we just had a blast meeting people and discussing the work, about the process, and it was just a really, really special night. And I just am so grateful to the gallery and to my community who is excited to support me. If you'd like to support me from afar and see that extended gallery tour, head over to Patreon. And next week's Artist Diary, I'm going to share the nature art adventures that we went on during our trip to Bethlehem, New Hampshire. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you later. I'm going to go work on preparing for my solo show, which is happening in the fall. Okay, bye.